In this GIMP beginners tutorial, I will show you how to create a circular crop and enlarge it over the original image. Other tutorials can be found in my playlists. Okay, well, I'm going to assume you've got very little experience, if any at all, working with GIMP, so I'm going to not use shortcuts and go through this the long way round. So first thing you need to do is to the top of the screen, left click on File and then left click on Open, and navigate to the folder where your image is stored. Then select the image by left clicking on it and then left click on Open. Now the first thing you'll need to do is put an alpha channel on this, because if you want to use the eraser or cut any area out of an image in GIMP, you won't be able to do this without adding an alpha channel. And to do this, you come up to the layers button here, left click on this, and then next to transparency, left click add alpha channel. Because I want to increase the size of this section of the image and bring it to the middle, I need to put a duplicate over this image. So if you come to the right of the screen, there's some buttons here. Look for the button that says create a duplicate of the layer and add it to the image. Left click on this. Look for the little eye next to the lower image, and this makes the image invisible or visible. And I'm going to just left click on this eye for now so that this image underneath is invisible. But we're going to be working with this one here. Now a couple of things that come in handy when working with things like GIMP is being able to zoom in and move your image around. So to move your image around, you just hold down your middle mouse button and you can move your image around. So that's your middle mouse to move the image. If you hold down Control and roll your middle mouse, you can zoom in and out. So I'm going to work in this area here, so middle mouse, and I'll drag this area in here because I want to create a circle of this part of the image. Top left of the screen, look for the button that says Ellipse Select Tool. Left click on this. Now you've got some options here. I'll just deselect these. First one is feathered edges. This sort of gives us a slight sort of faded edge over your crop, and it can look a lot nicer than a sharp edge. So I'm going to put a tick in the box next to feathered edge. I'll leave this at radius 10. You can adjust this by either sliding this line across or manually typing in a figure, but for now I'm going to just leave this set at 10. The other thing, because I want a perfect circle, I'm going to put a tick in the box next to fixed aspect ratio. Okay. So if you hold your left mouse button down and then move your mouse, you can create a circle. If you place your pointer in the middle and hold your left mouse button down, you can move your circle. If you want to increase the size even more, in the corners a little box will flash up. Hold your left mouse button down and you can increase or decrease the size. And like I said, in the middle, hold your left mouse button down in the middle to move your circle. And I'm going to go with that. Okay. So we now need to invert this selection because we don't want to delete this area, we want to delete the area outside of the circle. So right click on the image, and the first thing you want to look for is next to select, there's a button that says invert. And while we're here, if you're going to use Gimp, like a lot of these things, it's worth making a note of the shortcuts. I wouldn't normally do it this way. I would just press Control I. But for now, just left click on Invert. And right click again, and this time next to Edit, left click on Cut. And this will happen. Okay. Now I'm going to hold down Shift and roll my middle mouse to zoom out for now. And again use my middle mouse to reposition the view. Now if we try and move this or enlarge this image at present, it won't work. So before we do this, though, probably best to actually left click and make the on the eye, make the bottom image visible. Okay, as I was saying, we won't be able to move this because, well, it just won't work. What you need to do is just come back up to Select and then left click, select all. Now look for the button in this panel here that says Scale Tool. Select the layer, selection or path, and left click on this. Now if you left click on the image again, you get these little boxes come up, but the first thing you need to do is be able to see this box here. For some reason or another it comes up behind this panel, so I'm going to place my pointer over this edge here and just drag this down. Now there's a chain here. Make sure it's solid, because that means any scaling you do will be proportional. If you leave it broken, you move this and you'll start ending up with an oval. You'll distort the image. So I'm going to just make this link solid so that the scale is equal. Okay, I'm going to actually zoom out a bit more. Now if I drag this little box here by using my left mouse button, and then I can use my little mouse button over this box, I can start enlarging this area. And then if I use the middle box with my left mouse button held down, I can move this so that it's in the middle. I'll enlarge this a little bit more, and I think that will probably do. You can also hold your left mouse button down and drag these sizes around by using these arrows. So I think for what I want to do, this is good enough. Yeah, I'll do for this tutorial. So I'm now going to save this image. So the first thing I'm going to do is come up to the top left of the screen and left click on File. So instead of Save As, what you're looking for is Export As. Left click on this. Now it will probably come up with the format your image is in, so it's probably worth just saving it as that. But if you want to change the format, there's a plus next to Select File Type. If you left click on this, you've got different options. So you could, for instance, save it as a PNG image, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just left click and close this down. So let's export this image. Oh, I'm going to retitle this. So in the box here, name, I'm going to just give it another title. I don't know. Call it what you want. Okay, so it says, yep, that's fine. Now left click on Export, and this panel should show up. So I'm going to make the quality 100% by sliding this bar across. I'm not going to change anything else. I'm going to literally left click Export again. And I should now have an image with a cropped and enlarged circle over it. Well, hopefully this helps somebody. Thank you for watching. Cheers.